a partially valid, a half-truth, if you will, is
Yeah.
being pushed.
I can't wait to find out all sorts of new and exciting things I didn't know about myself.
So you just hate Jews, bro.
Yeah, you're
It's
just an anti-Semite. Congratulations.
You're
Go
not
join.
What would you say?
Exactly.
Well, that's different. It's not different. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's
That just we are the only society on Earth who has the obligation to self-destruct, to blame ourselves for every problem that has ever existed, and we just think of ourselves as the worst human beings who are responsible for every bad.
How many Muslims are trying to stop Boko Haram? How many Muslims were confronting ISIS? How many Muslims, the extremists always win. So the peaceful majority, which I know many, they're irrelevant.
Good morning, Misfits. All right, how are we doing? Let's see. First of all, we gotta move that. That's not gonna work. Nope. No. Yes. Thank you very much. Crazy Moan McGroin in the chat. Yes, I just got back from my birthday weekend. I thought about doing a pre-record for this show because I knew I was going to be tired. I knew I was going to maybe be maybe a little hungover, but I'm not hungover. I'm just tired. I did not drink at all yesterday on my well, actually, that's not true. I had a mimosa in the morning with the wonderful people from the event. We're going to talk about the event. If you guys aren't aware, we did this self-defense training course this weekend, which has been in the works for a long time. And I got super sunburnt. You can't really tell because of all the red in this room, right? I need more blue. I might change that to blue. I might move that in the background. If you're listening on audio, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But here, let me show you. I'll show you. I got my new Garmin here, which I love, but let's see. Here, let's take this off and you can see the sunburn. Yeah. There is a watch size tan line on my wrist here. And you should probably be able to see. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there it is. There's the, I should have just done that. Now I got to put my watch back on. But it was such a fun time. And I was trying to think of how am I going to do Maha Monday this week? Because if you guys aren't aware, this show has a theme of the day. And today's theme is Maha Monday. All right. And here's what I noticed about this weekend in particular. I was in the moment because I had to be, right? We were learning about firearms. We were learning about things while using things that can kill you. So being on your phone, probably not a good idea, especially when you're in a course that's, not only pretty expensive, but it's run by these, hard ass Marines and, these instructors who they won't be shy about saying, hey, pay attention. But I don't really have a problem with that anyway. Even though I'm online a lot, I'm very good at putting the phone down. I mean, I should do it more. I think we all should do it more. But let's actually show you what I mean by this. So, told Eli to make this thumbnail. We do the thumbnails every day. Take a break. No phone zone. All right. This is Maha Monday for today. We're going to talk about the effects of social media on people, right? And we're going to give a couple of examples. And we're going to give a more specific example of the effects of social media on people who get paid, right? And how that affects the political discourse, how that affects the conversation in America. Because I think I've said this plenty of times. I think it's obviously a well-known fact. It's the worst kept secret. If social media is not real life. It's not. It affects real life. It can trickle out into real life. It can create problems in real life. But what you are seeing in real time on social media is not real life. It's not the way people feel. It's not the way people think. It's how some people want people to feel. It's how some people want people to think. But it's not how people think. It's a small percentage of the population. And it's sometimes it's chronically online, psychopaths who are just, in their own little world. So those people, let's say, they convince themselves that it's real life. Well, they might go onto the roof of a building with a 30-06 rifle pointed at Charlie Kirk and pull the trigger. So no, social media is not real life, but it definitely can affect real life. And if I sound like I'm really tired and dry, it's because I am. So hopefully this coffee will kick in soon and it won't be so glum, but let's give it a shot. All right, so we will get into that. We're definitely going to get into that. But let's also get into the daily breakdown. Before we do that, let's get to our Monday sponsor, Maha Mondays Patriot Pouch. We love Patriot Pouch, and I'm an idiot because this weekend I could have invited Alex from Patriot Pouch. I did not realize he lived up there, and we invited him very late, basically after the second day, and he couldn't make it because he was with the kids. But next time, for sure. I'm sorry, Alex. I didn't know where you lived. I'm very out of it with that, with where everyone on the internet lives. I am not a stalker. I have them, but I am not one. Anyway, Patriot Pouch, the nicotine-like ritual and buzz you expect, powered by better ingredients and American values with fewer downsides, made in the USA. You can go to patriotpouch.com and patriotpouchusa.com, which we should get on the screen because we made one. And you can use promo code MISFIT10 for 10% off. You can get the Sovereign Sample 4-pack, or you can get my favorite flavor right here, orange. Glad you're an American. Look at that. And Patriot Pouch is also made with Nixidine, not nicotine, and that's a compound that binds to the same receptors, but it delivers a better and cleaner effect and has less of a addictive property. So head over to patriotpouchusa.com. Use code MISFIT10 for 10% off. Thank you, Patriot Pouch. All right, so we went over the, let's get rid of that. We went over the thumbnail. We went over the theme of the day. Now let's get into the daily breakdown. So the daily breakdown, if you haven't seen it before, is when we go on the internet, we type in the word news. Whatever pops up, that's what we talk about. So let's get into it. All right. Orban era swept away by Peter Magyar's Hungary election landslide. So Orban lost. This is world news from BBC. Sometimes they throw world news on here. Okay. Viktor Orban, I believe that we like him. So has he lost an election? By the way, I don't pay attention to other world politics, like as far as elections go. Like I pay attention to conflicts. I pay attention to foreign policy that affects America. I'm sure that you could say this affects America too somehow. I don't know. But the people that are obsessed with Israel and everything, like I tell them all the time, I go, I don't really know who's in that government. I don't care about the Israeli government. I care about the Jew hate and the radical Islamic terrorist threat to America. So just wanted to really kind of send that home, because there's a lot of people that seem to be obsessed with certain countries. I'm obsessed with none. Anyway, that was a conversation that we were having this weekend, and that's kind of why I brought it up. Inside baseball. Anyway, Orban era swept away. Let's see here. Viktor Orban's 16 years of power is over. Okay, so he has lost. And a system condemned as an electoral autocracy lies in tatters. Defeated by 45-year-old former party insider who convinced a majority of Hungarians to bring it to an end. Okay. We did it, Peter Magyar. Magyar. Yeah, there you go. Told a crowd of cheering supporters preliminary election results based on more than 98% of counted votes puts his Tissa party on course for an extraordinary 138 seats, with Orban's on 55 and the far right, our homeland, on 6. So 138, 55, 6. So is that they have a parliamentary system, I assume? Which I think those are crazy. I don't like. I used to be one of those people that used to say we should have a parliamentary system. We should have more options. Absolutely not. I was completely wrong, stupid, and naive. And let me explain why. The two-party system in America is the best system on the planet. Is it a great system? Is it a perfect system? No. Is it the best system on the planet? Yes. Want to know why? Because it's 2. Yeah, 2 is less. Less means less divide. Less means less control. If you have a bunch of options and you dilute the population and you separate them into these groups of people where it's like, let's say, and this is not long ago that I used to think this, and I have completely changed my position on this because it just sort of hit me one day where I'm like, oh, that's actually stupid, right? If this system was run properly, it would be damn near perfect, but it is abused, which is why it's not. However, the two-party system is the best system because if you have, let's say, far right, then you have moderate, then you have like right, I don't know, like whatever. Three lefts, 3 rights, okay? You can have and I say this all the time, the country is not run by the majority, right? The country is not run by the majority of people. The country is run by the majority of people who participate. And let's say you have a majority of the far right participating, but a majority of the middle right or moderate right or just normal people not participating. You could have a system where you end up with a far right authoritarian leader because they were able to do what we see just happened, and vice versa. I don't know if Orban was good or bad, or if the new guy's good or bad. I don't care. I'm talking about the systems. So anybody that's sort of like me who thought that that was a good idea because it does make sense pragmatically, it's more representative, you're wrong. We have more representation in America because of the Electoral College. We are already more represented if we actually got involved. If you want to change the way that the government works, start small. Stop looking for top-down fixes and stop trying to fix the system. The system is perfect. Start trying to fix the abuse of the system. The Founding Fathers didn't mess up. They did it right. We're doing it wrong. So get in the habit of that. What are your state and local elections? Who is running in your school district right now? Who's running in the judiciary? Do you know? Does anybody know? Well, we have a solution for that. What have I told you about this? This is, I'm not sponsored by these people. Go and find out where your elections are, who your officials are. On the screen we have ActiVote. You can you can do this a different way. You can just Google, but ActiVote, ActiVote, myactivote.com. Sign up. You can get the app on your phone, your tablet, what have you, and you can see here upcoming elections. This is the U.S. Senate, Lieutenant Governor, Texas Attorney General, Texas Railroad Commissioner, Bexar County Clerk. This is all right here in front of me right now. I can go on here. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pick Ken Paxton. All right. Lieutenant Governor, 2 Democrats running. None. We don't vote for Democrats. We're not Nick Fuentes. We're not the woke right. We don't vote for Democrats. If your only options are Democrats, You click none of the above. Texas Attorney General, Chip Roy or Mays Middleton? Mays Middleton. You may disagree with me. I don't care. Chip Roy has been a rhino too many times for my liking. Railroad Commission, Beau French. I know about Beau French. Do you know about Beau French? Did you even know? Well, you might not live in Texas. If you live in Texas, did you know about Beau French? You didn't. I did because I've done the work and you haven't. We don't pick Democrats. None at all. Allison Fox and Tom Smith. I don't know who these people are. Neither of them. Do you know what I'm going to do now? Does anybody know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to look on my ActiVote at their education history and their work history. So, who is this? Allison Fox. She's been a research attorney. She's been a director of the district attorney's office. Okay, not bad. Let's look at the other guy. Thomas Smith, work history. He's also got some decent, state senator under Ken Paxton as a policy analyst. That makes me a little more interested. Now I take both of these people, I go look into them even more, and I make a decision. Let's just temporarily pick Thomas Smith because he's a guy. No, I'm just kidding. Because Ken Paxton. Okay. Well done. Your vote, it says right here, well done. You are vote ready now. So when I walk into the voting booth in 43 days, okay, right before I walk in, these are all saved on my phone. All of them. Right before I walk in, I can't take my phone. Well, I can take my phone in with me, but I can't pull it out and start videoing or, right before I walk in, I could just write all this down or on my hand or on a piece of paper, or I could maybe ask them, one of the poll watchers, hey, I have my picks here. Do you mind if I open them so I can remind myself of who I'm voting for? Because I already did the research. I did the research. I made my picks. My picks are all here. We are not governed by the majority. We're governed by the majority of people who participate. This is all I just did. I did all that right in front of you. That's participation. Did that take long, guys? Did it take long at all? No. Was it a ton of work? No. I mean, sure, I looked in earlier to Beau French. All right, I did the comparison between Mays Middleton and Chip Roy, sure. I have my rule of I never vote Democrat, sure. But it really wasn't a lot of work. The amount of research I'm going to do on this race right here, Thomas Smith and Allison Fox, maybe I'll change my opinion. Maybe I'll go Allison Fox, maybe, right? But when I walk into a voting booth, I'm already done. I'm informed. I'm an informed electorate. It's not hard to be informed. So why aren't you informed? Why are you looking for a top-down fix? Why are you looking for, we need to change the president, when you could be looking at who is running in Bexar County Court at law number 10, and why are none of them Republicans? That's how you fix the problem, guys. And I'm tired of telling people this. Chip Roy has shown good stuff. Middleton hasn't lately. What is opinion, Zach? Chip Roy has been, in my opinion, too... how do I say this? Politician-y. Okay. He goes, oh, I'm the Freedom Caucus, but then I'm going against this. I'm going against that. I'm too tired today to go through specific examples, but I can put together a list for you down the road if you want. But Mays Middleton, I believe, is more MAGA aligned based on what I remember researching. And Chip Roy is, hey, look, I think that we'd be fine if Chip Roy won. I think that it would be okay. This isn't like a Thomas Massey, Ed Galrain thing where I'm looking at two wildly different people. But I personally think Mays Middleton would be the better choice because I did the research. So you go do your research and you choose whoever you want. That's all you have to do. But whatever you do, full screen for this, whatever you do, please do not do your research on X. Do not do your research based on X, based on social media, based on what they say. Do it on voting record. Now, if somebody has a voting record and somebody doesn't have a voting record, what do we do? How do we fix that problem? Chip Roy has a voting record, right? So I'm assuming your comment or some people's comments might be, well, this guy has a voting record, this guy doesn't. So then what you do is you go, okay, I'm going to look at the voting record of the one guy. Do I agree with it? Let's say most of the time. Yes, vote for that guy. No, what are the promises from the other guy who doesn't have a voting record against the guy whose voting record you don't really agree with? Maybe pick that guy instead of the guy with the voting record of lately. Like if he lately agrees with you, it's probably because he's trying to win re-election. Right? That's probably why lately you agree with him, because lately he's trying to win your vote so he can go right back to being the other guy after he wins your vote. Anyway, just something to think about. I'm not here to teach you how to do research. I'm just telling you to do it. All right, next up, what's the next story here? Let's get into news. Middle East crisis. No, I'm tired of it. No, let's go to something new. Yes, crisis in the Middle East. Fucking every week, every week.
I don't know why you got to do it in front of the kid.
It's every
with the iPad. All you got to do is say earmuffs to him. Earmuffs.
It's every day, it's every week, it's every hour. Yes, I get it. It's still happening. I'm not saying we shouldn't talk about it, but maybe, hold on, maybe, just maybe, let's take a break. All right? Maybe let's not get so hyperfixated. Maybe let's just go on to something new that'll probably piss us off just as much. For instance, Trump calls Pope Leo weak and terrible and extraordinary broadside. Okay. I understand that I have a very Christian audience here. I'm Christian, but I mean, I'm not really that. I'm what they call the naughty Christian. All right. I woke up this morning, I saw a bunch of people really upset about Donald Trump posting like an AI thing and going after the Pope and what have you. And I may lose some people with this, but I don't care. I don't care. You know why? Because I have said in the past, F the Pope, right? I have been very clear about my position on the Catholic Church. I was raised Catholic. I have been Catholic my entire life. I don't even know if I'm not Catholic anymore. I don't know how it works. I was asked this question this weekend because we had a lot of Christians at the event, and they were, I was like, I don't know. I mean, according to the Catholic Church, I'm Catholic for life. And I went and I started going to a non-denominational church. Kind of liked it. Don't really go every week, but I do one thing. I just open the Bible and I read and I pray and I connect with God, and that's how I do it now. I also don't like the Catholic, not necessarily don't like the Catholic Church. I acknowledge that the Catholic Church has become more of a political organization than an organization that's really more focused around God. And that's just my opinion. And when I see the Pope say something, I see a man saying something. I don't see, you can call him a holy figure, but like the last Pope with, the Palestinian thing, I'm like, I don't, shush. Anyway, long story short, I'm a little out of it today, but long story short, if Donald Trump goes after the Pope, I'm okay with it. Okay. Also, Donald Trump posted an AI thing where he looks like Jesus and everyone's freaking about that. We'll get to that. Don't care about that either. Right? I understand that there are people that are going to be really upset about that. And here's my advice. Take a break. Okay? It's not real life. It can affect real life, but most of the time it's a joke. Most of the time it doesn't matter. And Trump has a long history of saying stupid things. You can call them stupid. You can acknowledge they're stupid. You can do the head shake, but don't spend a whole day on it. All right? Anyway, let's get to this story. Donald Trump delivered an extraordinary broadside against Pope Leo the 14th, saying he does not think the U.S.-born leader of the Catholic Church is doing a very good job and that he is a very liberal person. Oh, the humanity. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe that Trump said he does not think the Pope is doing a very good job. I have personally, not about this Pope, the last Pope, I've said, F that Pope, right? And I've meant it. But Donald Trump said he doesn't think he's doing a good job? No way. Neither do I. Thinks that he is a very liberal person? I would agree. Oh no, strike me down right now. Should stop catering to the radical left. I have said many times, and I think that there is evidence to back this up. The Catholic Church has become a political organization, and that political organization is probably a political organization as a whole that leans one way. There you go. Throw enough money at something, it'll lean your way. I'm not saying that the Pope is bought and paid for. I'm saying throw enough money at something, it'll lean one way. Anyway, so the part that looks like it's the real as Trump said, apparently, Pope Leo is weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. Yeah, I mean, I don't I think that Trump means his opinions, The president wrote in his post, adding, I don't want a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. Same. Right? Now, break down. All right, here's the. All right. This is hilarious, but people are taking it people are taking it pretty hard. All right. They're saying that Trump is portraying himself as Jesus. I don't think so. I think he's portraying himself as a holy figure. Right. And that's Trump stuff. There are literally bald eagles in the background. There are F-15s, the American flag, and soldiers. And it's something stupid that Trump probably thought was yeah. Yeah, I like that. Send. Do I like it when Trump does this? No. Right? However, I also don't care. This is not something that bothers me so much where I go, oh, right? I go, here's what I do when I see it. I go, oh, that's it. Kind of like when your friend makes a joke that's a little too much, right? You kind of almost laugh, but then you're like, ah, but But what you don't do is you don't go, that's out of line, bro. That's out of line. You can't do that. You can't do that. You go, come on, man. Like, all right. I still love you, but Jesus. Sorry. See, now I just did it. Now you made me do it. But you get what I'm saying? Okay? He's talking crap about the Pope, and then he posts this. It's more likely he's just saying, I'm a better religious person, which is so stupid. Trump should not be. Trump should just like sometimes he should just go, nah. All right. I hope everybody. I don't think I need to go deeper into this. I think that we all get it, right? The thing is, if you get upset about things that Trump does after Trump has done those things for so long, what's changed? Because I didn't get upset about this ever. Like, have some consistency. Don't like Trump finally just crossed a line. No, he didn't. He did not cross that line. If that line was crossed, it was 10 years ago. Okay? Keep the same consistency, and yes, feel free to maybe say something along the lines of, wish you didn't do that. Right? But don't start with the whole, this is just absolutely, oh my God. Clutching pearls, it's one side's job. And the moment you start doing it, just understand that that's the beginning of the end for you. It won't, thank you. It is what it is. It won't change my day. Thank you in the chat. Somebody just said that. All right. New York Times, we won't be able to read. At least 30 killed at a historic fortress in Haiti. I don't know why, but this is interesting to me. Let's go over this one. What happened? I didn't hear about this. Maybe because everyone's talking about the other thing. All right. At least 30 people, many of them young, have died, and dozens more reported to be injured after a crush at a mountaintop fortress that is a popular terrorist spot. Oh, that sucks. Is it an earthquake? Jean-Henri Petit, the head of civil protection for the country's Nord Department, said the incident took place at the large 19th century fortress. Told local newspapers the death toll could rise. What happened? Initial reports said visitors were crammed against a single entrance and a scuffle broke out between those trying to leave and enter the site. Oh, a fight happened. Other local media reports say the gathering took place after being advertised on TikTok, and rumors that the police at the site used too much tear gas to break up the fight, which caused people to panic and triggered a crush. Like, what's a crush? Like, a crush is like a caving in? Is that why I'm not understanding this? Haiti's prime minister offered deep sadness. Yeah, like, I don't know what a crush is. Like, is a crush like it fell over? Let me find this out. I'm interested. What is, oh, sorry, there it is. What is a crush in reference to a castle or fortress? I think we're going to find this out right now. Fortress, North America, Canada. In a castle or fortress context, a crush usually means a place built to smash or trap attackers, not literal crush of the building itself. Oh. The most likely term you're thinking of is Mecca, a stone opening or overhang on top of a wall used to drop stone. No. I don't know. I think it means that I'm starting to think it means that there was a fight, and this is just the word. Many people killed at Taurus with. It doesn't make sense to me. Does it make sense to? Am I just like wet brained today? Anyway. All right. Well, we're moving on. Anyway, let's get to the daily breakdown. Yeah, here it is. By the way, look, I don't care about the dumb AI slop posts of Trump healing Uncle Sam. I don't care. I think it, like I said, I will reiterate. I do not think it was well advised. But Trump has done this so many times. People get over it quickly. People get outraged quickly. People get over it quickly. We all move on and we accept the fact that he is very imperfect and his sense of humor is not for everybody. Like a stampede. Okay, thank you in the chat. It was a... Why didn't they just say that then? You got me looking dumb over here live. Should have just said stampede. Is there a difference? Why do they use a different word that I've never heard of? So for anyone wondering, this story is apparently about a stampede. Why can't I get to it now? There we go. At least 30 killed in stampede at historic fortress. That would have been perfectly acceptable, and I would not have looked like an idiot. Jerks. Anyway, are we all good with this? We're good with Trump? I mean, we're going to get to it again, but... All right, I did that twice. Yeah, Dom Lucre. I don't know how to say his last name. Lucere. Is it possible Trump depicted himself as the Pope and not Jesus? Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. He's probably not saying I'm Jesus. But even still, whatever. I think we're over it. Speaking of Dom Lucere, there is apparently a... I really didn't research this much, so forgive me if I get any of these facts wrong. But there's like a crackdown going on X for people who are posting a lot of clickbait. Dom is one of these people. I have Dom muted. I follow Dom. Dom follows me. I've met Dom, kind of, sort of just like a handshake thing. And I don't like his style of content. I don't think he's like a horrible person or anything. I just don't like... I like... The same thing goes for like Nick Sorter, Benny Johnson, all these other people. It's like a bunch of slop. It's just garbage, right? And you know, that's how you fix that, by the way. I don't know. Just mute them. You can block them if you really want. You can engage with them if you really want. But for stuff like that, I usually just go, meh. Now, apparently there was a back and forth with Nikita Beer, and they came out and said, I believe that's a guy. All aggregators had their payout reduced by 60% this cycle. We will add another 20% deduction in the next cycle. And then Dom was like, yeah, I post clickbait. That's why I rarely use the word breaking. It's like, he's used the word breaking 91 times in 5 days. So this is what I'm saying. Like Benny Johnson, Dom Lucere, whatever the hell his name is. He's, and a lot of these other people, even like Nick Sorter, right? A whole bunch of other people. They're just like breaking, like this is, or oh my God, or like this. It's just something that's just meant to grab your attention. It's low, it's lazy way of delivering information. It dilutes anything that's actually breaking. Like if something breaking happens, it's Boy Who Cried Wolf, right? It's like, anyway, it doesn't bother me to the point, just like the Trump portraying himself as like a holy figure, right? Like, does it bother me? Maybe a little. Does it bother me so much where I go, like, not really? No, that doesn't. So Dom doesn't bother me that much. However, apparently X is trying to crack down on that now. All right. And X is going to be trying to take their money away. So Dom posts, I've been told this app isn't the same already. I'm done defending myself. I have seen time and God do before they will reveal everything. I wish people wouldn't do that. Wish people wouldn't be bringing God into a post where you're talking about how you get paid for tweeting. Anyway, I'm sitting at the top of my tower watching the world burn. What? No, you're sitting at the top of your tower watching your X payout burn. I'm really getting tired of. I think it's more offensive for people like Candace Owens and Russell Brand and Tucker Carlson to use their Christianity, right? Let me full screen for this one. All right. Tell me if you agree with me in the chat, in fact. All right, let's bring this up. I want to find out if I'm alone here. Okay. What do you find more offensive? Right? Because I get it. We've already agreed that what Trump did with that post, right, is not the best, right? What do you think's worse, though? Do you think Trump posting an AI picture, kind of trolling, kind of being silly, stupid Trump like he normally is, do you think that's worse? Or do you think when Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Benny Johnson, Russell Brand, all these people use their Christianity on a daily basis and become proselytizers when they're not really spreading the word of God? Do you think that's worse, or what Trump's doing is worse? Because I think what Candace Owens is doing is way worse. Misfit Patriot, you need to leave LFA. You are terrible. No. I'll leave when they tell me to leave, or I'll leave when I want to leave. I will not leave when Little Debbie R thinks it's a good idea. Little Debbie R, you can go f yourself. You can eat a big fat dick. The latter is much worse, Misfit. Okay. All right. I think people are in agreement with me. Little Debbie R, by the way. Yeah, no, I think that it's worse to proselytize as a either baby, new, fake, or whatever type of Christian. I think it's way worse to go on and seriously try to convince people that this is the way that Christians behave, as opposed to what is still kind of not okay, what Trump did, right? We can definitely call out both sides. We can do that. We can say, Trump, don't do that. Is it really like something that I'm going to lose my shit over? No. Is it really, really bad? No. Is it great? No. No. You should have. That one you should have kept in your pocket. All right? That one you should have kept in your pocket. All right? That's all we're saying. But what I'm saying is, I think that we have I
don't know why you got to do it in front of the kid. Max, can you earmuff it? Earmuffs to him.
Wrong one. What I'm saying is, right, I think that if we're going to go down this road of that's not Christian, sure. But I also don't like to get on my soapbox and tell other people how to do their Christianity when I'm not doing that good of a job myself, right? Like, I do what I can, but I just wish everybody would stop doing it, as far as I'm concerned. But I don't think what Trump did was even close to what they did. All right. But anyway, this community note, Dom Lucre is openly selling paid comments, retweets, and quote tweets on his website. This is blatant platform manipulation. Does he do that? Does he actually sell retweets on his website? Advertising rates. Holy shit, he really does. He's literally like, wow, I never even knew that. He's literally just selling his influence. Oh. Yeah, well, so that's what you get. See, I don't follow him. That's how you fix that problem. Just don't follow these people. I mean, I follow him. I'm sorry. I meant to say he's muted. See how it says unmute? He's muted. I don't see him. I'm not going to unfollow him because I don't dislike him. He followed me, I followed back, but I just don't listen to his shit. Now, this, by the way, is also just don't do this, by the way. Do not simp out for Trump when he does something wrong. When you, like, it's not, and by the way, again, not really even that wrong. Just kind of stupid. Not wrong, but stupid. America has been sick for a long time. President Trump is healing the nation. No, you can either do one of two things at this picture. You can either laugh or you can condemn. Whatever you do, do not validate. All right. Anyway, what else did I have here for you? Oh yeah, that's right. So, Eric Swalwell. Eric Swalwell. Have you guys heard this? I was off my phone. By the way, I forgot to give you guys the most important post of this whole thing. All right. 95% of this weekend, I was off my phone. I checked in. People are still mad about everything. I'm not mad about everything. Maybe the phone's the problem. Because I was basically off my phone most of the weekend, right? Like, and I'm talking like most of the time it sat down. I picked it up. I made a post. I put it back down maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. But the vast majority of the weekend, we were either training or we were talking or we were in the pool, the hot tub, the mini putt. We were having a great time. It was awesome. When I looked at my phone again, I saw Eric Swalwell was in some trouble. And I didn't have enough time to like go down and do a deep dive. But then like I pulled out my phone. I think we were like, on like a lunch break or something in the middle of the gun training this weekend. And I was like, is that a hooker? Like, I'm not joking. I was like, oh, he's screwed. And then I saw a little bit, like, this is the only story that I saw the whole weekend where I was like, I pulled up my phone and I was like, damn. And then I had to put my phone back down because we're about to go shoot things again. And it's pretty bad. So I noticed that the Democrats were like, sort of railroading him, right? And I'm not sure if I finished this draft. I bet you I didn't. I think I wrote a draft. Yes. Look, I forgot to even finish this, right? I never even pressed send because I was like, I put my phone down and I forgot about it. Yeah, Democrats are definitely railroading this dude, but it doesn't seem to change the fact that he did all that stuff, right? The real question is whether or not he did what he's accused of. He did. The question is, why would this all come out now? And I didn't finish writing. Luckily, we have our assist from the great Sean Farish. So let's explain this, all right? And by the way, we'll get into don't worry, we'll play the video. Sean has answered this question. I just saw this, okay. Now that Swalwell is out, a Democrat will likely finish in the top 2 of the gubernatorial primary. Now that Swalwell's out, a Democrat will likely finish in the top 2 of the gubernatorial primary, which means a Republican won't win the governor's race. This is why the media were willing participants. This is not just why the media were willing participants. This is why this all happened, okay? Again, let's go to... Eric Swalwell. I think I got this. Maybe not. Stay with me, guys. It'll be good. Okay. So here is the video of Eric Swalwell drunk with a prostitute, grabbing her face, making out with her. This is obviously something that somebody had in a folder for a long time that they could drop whenever they needed to. Right, that's what railroading means. I think we've already seen this video before.
A fascist at some point and alluded to him being a national security.
Well, anyway, that's a minute long. We won't even play that, right? But Eric Swalwell has been drunk. This is cover your eyes. Cover your eyes if you're sensitive, right? But this is the prostitute, apparently, from Libs of TikTok, porn star, prostitute, whatever, same thing, in my opinion. Okay. But when we saw, and there's so much, by the way, guys, this just gets worse and worse and worse and worse, right? But what's the point, right? What's the reason for this? This is important, right? What's the reason for this, right? Well, because California had Chad Bianco and Steve Hilton leading in the governor's race, which means Swalwell was pulling up the rear and taking votes away from one of the other candidates. I can't remember which one. Now, if you take him out of the race, right, you may be able to get your Democrat candidate in to top 2 place. If top 2 place, then when it's going to go to the primary, they should be able to steal the election and either steal or maybe legitimately vote in, I doubt it, the Democrat, because Democrats only care about power. They care about the power of the party. They care about their power. So they will throw one of their own under the bus. I don't think that it is a coincidence that right before this dude is about to, campaign and all this stuff, like it all comes out at once. 4 different women come out and accuse him. Video evidence drops. All of the, well, not all, the majority of the Democrat Party comes out and they go, this is abhorrent. We can't allow this. I mean, think about what they did with that guy, Menendez, who was caught with gold bars, him and his wife. They said that Menendez should stay in his seat because it was about power, because they needed his votes, because they needed his position. They don't care. This is not about, oh, yeah, they did it with Biden too. Sean Farish in the chat just came out and dropped another truth bomb. Biden was going to F everything up. They got rid of Biden. This is all about power. They will always, thank you, Sean, always sacrifice one of their own for power. So, while that's true, it's also true that Eric Swalwell is a scumbag and did all that shit. We already knew that, right? Fang. But how many times does this need to happen to open the eyes of the people that vote Democrat? Because that's where we should be steering this conversation. We should be steering this conversation into, do you guys not see it yet? Like, do you guys not see that they manipulate you? They're not manipulating us. We have no reason to be mad at them. I mean, other than the fact that they hate the country. My party is not necessarily lying to me, right? Like, sure, I'm sure they do a little bit. Let me rephrase that. My party overall, right, in general, is not lying to me about what they want to do for me, Does that make sense? Because Democrats lie to their constituents about what they want to do for their constituents, right? They don't want to do anything for you. They want to do for themselves. All right. When my party says we want to secure elections and make the voting fair in this country, because free and fair elections are the staple of a true representative republic, that's not a lie. All right. When Chuck Schumer gets on stage and says, "Is Jim Crow 2.0 and this is racism," that's why, that is a lie. So that's what I mean. The party as a whole is not lying to me. Your party as a whole is lying to you. Why are you okay with being lied to all the time? You know, like Eric Swalwell is just, this isn't the story. The story is, why is the Democrat Party so hell-bent on power that they will take their scummy candidate and ruin his whole life, ruin his whole career, because people in California finally got tired of their shit and decided to put two Republicans in the primary. Like the two leading Republicans, they are going, one of them's going to win. And they were like, break glass in case of emergency. We have Swalwell's hooker video. Let's drop it. Bro, that's insane, right? That's crazy. I'm not saying Republicans don't do this. I'm not saying Republicans are perfect. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying the Democrat Party entirely is like this. That's the crazy thing. They've done it over and over and over again. They will continue to do it. And if they care only about power, they should never have it. I'll take Satan for 200, Alex. That's correct. All right, it's 8:59. I made it through. I am tired. I am sunburnt. But Sean Farish is coming up next to save me. I will be much better tomorrow after I hydrate and stretch. But stay tuned for Sean Farish with the Ungovernables. Tomorrow we will have TDS Tuesday, where we will try to make you laugh. And we got some guests coming up this week. We got some good things coming. So I will see you guys then. Let's do a quick shout out until the 9 o'clock hour hits. 9 o'clock Central. Funmon, Wiki Nod Nod, JJNSAEX, CQ707, Parrot Mom, the 1 a.m., and Eileen Jimenez. 9 o'clock. Here we go. Sean Farish. See you later.
A partially valid, a half-truth, if you will, is being pushed.
I can't wait to find out all sorts of new and exciting things I didn't know about myself.
So you just hate Jews, bro.
Yeah, you're just an anti-Semite. Congratulations.
You're
Go
not.
join.
What would you say?
Exactly.
Well, that's different. It's not different. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's
That just we are the only society on Earth who has the obligation to self-destruct, to blame ourselves for every problem that has ever existed, and we just think of ourselves as the worst human beings who are responsible for every bad.
How many Muslims are trying to stop Boko Haram? How many Muslims were confronting ISIS? How many Muslims, the extremists always win. So the peaceful majority